Hey guys, what's up? So, this is Star Episode 4. It ain't over. Child, listen. It's a lot that's going on in this episode, but we're just gonna get right to it. So we pick up where the episode last left off, with Brody meeting up with Star, letting her know that he's the father. He came back to see her, but Star wasn't having it because she already knows that he's only there for the money, which is quite coincidental because their mom dead and he left her for 10 years, and when she's starting to get herself together, he just shows up all of a sudden. I sense some shadiness here, and they wasn't having it. So her and Carlotta dismissed his ass. So then we move into Alex pretty much trying to, convince Derek, who's still going through personal fears of getting back into his zone and going outside and continue to live his life despite the fact that he's paralyzed. And he promised to do that. He promised her to do that. And the second that she goes to rehearse the music for the contest, he notices the necklace that she had and found out that the price tag was still on it. So that's when he starts getting suspicious. Okay. So back in jail, Simone has been sitting in the inmate's jail cell all night watching her to make sure that she ain't sneaking out to try to kill herself because she's still grieving over Dee's death. And I think the inmate's name is Karen. Y'all leave down in the comments to let me know what her name was, what her character's name was, because I think it was Karen. But anyway, so she's watching Karen, and Karen tries to let her know, look, don't be watching me again, okay? Don't watch me again. And Simone's trying to open up and warm up to her to let her know it's okay. She's going to be fine. And she tries to calm her down by telling her about her story with her mom, which I think is not a good idea because that pertains to nothing of what that shit is going through with her. And she denies it, and Simone marches off. So then we get back to Hahil, who ends up moving his trailer that he bought from a friend over next door to the salon, and Cotton doesn't want anything to do with it because, again, she's just not here for it. So then after Hahil got shot down by Cotton again, he decides to call for Iana to get the track that he wants for him to get himself some money and get himself relevant again. So then, moving on to Iana, this bitch is already going ahead and she's planning for the party for her daddy and her family because she's still trying to do whatever she can to impress herself so that she can prove herself to her family and shit like that. Whatever. So, yeah. She makes this. She starts, like, throughout the episode, she's been making so many, like, thirsty moves. Like, Iana has been very thirsty throughout this episode to trying to enlist on getting this celebrity mishap who is played by Keke Palmer, and I'm sitting here like, I mean, shit, Keke. I mean, if you do what you gotta do. If you haven't made any hits lately, and you have been kind of, off the rails, but you are getting yourself, at a steady pace. And if this is the way to go, then you being on Star is good. Then go ahead, girl. I ain't mad at you. But I just hate how they just had her play this stereotypical black girl who just cusses in every single sentence when she opens her mouth. I just think that's just so unnecessary. But yeah, Iana tries to get Gigi, Keke Palmer into the party while she has Paris Jackson going ahead and be the new social media activist to try to scope out certain people to have at the party to make it real exclusive, real nice. And she's stressed out over wanting to make the party good and perfect. And the girls rehearse and they get a warning from their costume designer that they need to have a look for the party if they're going to be able to even attend. And the girls rebel against it until he went ahead and let them know that Iyanna had already selected outfits for them, which were the gold outfits and stuff. So then the girls model out their look to Paris and Iyanna, and you know, Paris, she was going hard. She was going hard on them girls, but you know, she was pretty much trash talking about how bad they look, but she went hard on Star. I don't like Star. Damn, Paris was like how Star was a fake white trash wannabe diva. Oh my gosh. Paris, no, don't do it. Don't say that, cause this bitch is sensitive. Don't do it. Fair enough, she got her ass beat. Unfortunately, Paris Jackson got her ass beat, and they had to snatch both of them up. Then the girls argue about the fight, and Carlotta has a one-on-one with Star about Brody and how her fight with Paris was really just connections with her anger from her dad, but Star denies everything and saying that she's not interested because she's still pressed over the fact that he left her and her mom dead and that he only came back for the money. Okay? And that's pretty much going to be her excuse throughout this entire episode until the very end. So let's move on from that. So we get into Noah, recording his song So Sick, and Alex walks up, and I'm sitting there like, really, Alex? Are you seriously about to help this man after how much he tried to downplay you and the girls? Is this how you... But I guess if this is being a good sport, then hey, it is what it is. So she helps him with this song as her producer, and she sings the first verse. He gets all up excited about it, and then they start recording the song together, and it turns out great in his eyes. And I thought it was a cute song too, but I don't know. I think they did good together. It was cute. So then we get back to Derek, who's been moping around the house, because he's still pressed about him being paralyzed and that he feels like that he's scared because he's allowing the chair to keep him from living his life and doing him, and his grandma's not having it. She ain't having it. He tries to make dinner for Alex, and he wants his grandma to go out to go shopping for food to prepare the dinner, but she was like, no. What happened to the boy who wanted to be the man in the house? Huh? What happened to him? What happened to the guy who fought hard for his people in Atlanta as a true activist? Where he at? Where's that Derek? Where's season 1 Derek? Because all I'm seeing now is like a little boy crying in the corner. Derek got up in his feelings, which struck a nerve with his grandma, and she went and slapped him, and I'm like, damn. And she gives him a quick reality check saying that there were black men in prison who can't get out and can't go nowhere, but you can. And I'm saying, like, you better go, grandma. You better tell his sorry ass off. So then we get into Brody meeting up with Carlotta, and she pretty much goes straight into the point. Why are you here? He's pretty much I don't know what this man's intentions are, but I guess we'll find out later in the season. But he pretty much tries to convince her that he's changed and that he has done nothing wrong and that he's owned up to his flaws. And then he turns the tables on Carlotta, saying, how long have you been telling yourself that lie that Carlotta has been making her peace with her mistakes with Mary and her death? So that got Carlotta in her feelings. So then later on she meets up with Maurice, who is the AR president, about the girls getting kicked off, and he tries to sympathize with her to go with her to take her somewhere, which was the church. And he wants her to participate, but she hasn't been, very religious or haven't been going to church lately because of what happened with Tyrese and Cotton last season. Y'all remember that when he was baptizing the shit out of her and she was crying, and then he started yelling at her and Cotton about how they asked him for his help. Yeah, that was ugly. So later on, we get into Hahil, who tries to call for numerous people and Iyanna, but nobody has answered him, and he resorts to doing crack to release his nerves. But then Cotton walks in on him, and she's just over it, and she tries to join in on it, but he refuses because he don't want her to go to jail completely for getting high and doing drugs. So then he lets her know that he wants to try to sell his cousin's track since his original track was trash. But she tells him to go do it himself. And then she goes and divert to him that Omani, who is her boo from jail, is coming back home, and she's nervous about it, and he tries to tell her, I got you. I'm your father. I got you. Cotton's all like, yeah, whatever. Get sober first and then we'll talk. So moving on from that, later, so Simone and Star are rehearsing for the party, and Simone pretty much tries to talk to Star about her issues with their daddy, and she quickly dismisses that, so we already know that Star is still pressed. And then their messy asses plan on crashing the party. So later at the party, Iyanna meets up with... Iyanna has been very, very thirsty throughout the party, like she has been throughout the entire episode. Meeting up and kissing all the business officials' asses, making sure that Gigi was completely pampered, and all that stuff. So then the girls eventually sneak into the party while things are going well, and before they step in, they manage to see Gigi enter the red carpet, and they were completely at awe. So then we get into Hahil meeting up with Iyanna at the party about his cousin's track. And she was already she was not impressed with his original track, and then he goes in ahead and slips in a chip of his cousin's track while he was kind of flirting with her, and she was almost interested with it. So it was just like, okay, I see what you did there. So then we get into this split scene where we get Carlotta, who is invited to the church, and she pretty much performs Don't You Worry, while at the same time the girls sneak into the party, they get on stage, and they perform Don't You Worry at the same time. And I have to say, that song was such a bop. It was such a bop to me. I liked it. So then, as the song was over, Carlotta thanks Maurice for bringing her to church, and she starts having a kumbaya moment to herself about how she started blaming herself over Mary's death and how she could have done anything to stop it, and how she started seeing herself as selfish just like Star. And then she gets an abrupt phone call about Simone, and she hightails it out of there. She went from Academy Award winning, worthy, emotional scene to fierce mama bear mode like that. So then back at the party, Simone meets the reason why Carlotta got the phone call from Simone about Simone was because she met up at the party. Simone met up with Karen, who was also at the party, and I'm sitting like, damn. So you was planning on sneaking into the party to get your 2 cents in? Okay, Karen, I see you, girl. I see you. And they go out and they get drunk and high together. And they pretty much start spilling each other out on their personal lives about how Karen went to prison because her mom did drugs, and how her and Dee, the big girl who committed suicide earlier, had to make money off of doing drugs in the streets, and how she knew her stepdad and how he was in Atlanta, and Simone felt like that she was invisible because her family is just completely dysfunctional, and she felt like she wanted to be part of a real normal family. And then Carlotta pulls up on her like, bitch, if you don't get your ass in this car. So then, back in jail, Carlotta goes off on Simone about how she was missing curfew, and that she pretty much is not really in jail. The real reason why she's in jail is because they didn't have any other place to put Simone because of the issues that she had. She already tried foster care, but that didn't work. She's already tried everything, so the only thing that they had was juvie. Karen, on the other hand, she's actually in jail. But Carlotta's trying to let her know, you gotta stop with all this because you keep making all these mistakes and you're gonna end up in jail with Karen and they're gonna treat you like a criminal. And Simone's like, and Simone kind of lets Carlotta know that, listen, you're not going to keep telling me how I control my life, because at the end of the day, I control my life because this is me. This is how I live my life, and I need for you to stop watching over me. But did y'all catch that moment when Simone and Karen was getting ready to make out real quick before Carlotta pulled up on them? I think that might be a little storyline for Simone right there. Little girl-on-girl love story going on. Alright. So anyway, then we get into so moving back to the party, through my notes, Noah talks to Star about how him and Alex recorded a song together, but she quickly dismisses him and all that shit. And then she overhears Iyanna talking to her dad about being like how she's this close into actually being a part of the family, and that she wishes that he was there because her dad was supposed to be at the party, which is why she was trying so hard to make the party so special and perfect, because the whole time she made that party was really just for her to impress her dad. And I'm sitting here like, girl, if you don't stop. And Star overhears this, and then Star realizes, oh, so after all this time, you've been digging on us when you trying to get yourself back into your family's graces so that you don't end up being the black sheep in the family no more. Because right now, you're the black sheep. Star figured that out. And I know she's going to end up trying to blackmail her and stuff, and Iyanna's going to do everything she can to kind of backfire on all of Star's schemes, but I don't know. The whole concept with this, I already seen that coming, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm tired, but I'm going to get through this. So then, we get into Derek, who's out getting his food, and he witnesses this Indian cashier being harassed by two racist douchebags, telling her to pretty much, leave the country because her people stole so much from our people. Leave the country so that my little bro can actually, so I can pay for my little bro homie. And Derek comes by and he's like, yo, like, what's the problem? Like, what's going on? And, he's trying to defend, the girl being harassed. And I was like, you better go, Derek. You better get your mojo back. But then they pushed him off. But they literally pushed him off from his wheelchair. And because he went through that, he got in his feelings. And he, wheeled out the store in complete anger and fear over that situation. So, back at the party, Gigi meets Alex and Star, and she's impressed by the performance and everything, and how she's planning on signing into the label. And things got real shady when Gigi asked how the label was to Alex and Star. And y'all noticed how the second that she asked them, they got silent. It was like, Gigi was like, so like, how's the scene, like, how's the label, like, how is it? You could hear a pin drop. That was shade. So after that, Gigi leaves. Alex and Gigi leaves, and then Iyanna and Star have another heart-to-heart about how Star figured out Iyanna's intentions, on how they pretty much ended it up having a moment together because they both have something in common. They're both sorry ass bitches who are trying to make it to prove everybody wrong because they both have daddy issues. Star is pretty much going through personal anger with her dad coming back into the scene after 10 years, and Iyanna's trying to prove herself of not being the black sheep in the family. See what I mean? This is why Iyanna and Star are so alike, because they both have so much in common, which is so sad. But anywho, moving on from that. So then we get near to the end of the episode where Star finally meets up with Brody, and Brody kind of lets her know that after all this time, I still got your back. I'm still your father, and I'm still going to love you no matter what. And Star kind of lets him know, I don't care what you have to say. You are not my father. You are nothing to me. You are transparent. You ain't shit. I know you're here for money, and you ain't getting it. So then he pulls out this old family pic. She breaks down and runs off. And she runs off to Noah, and she pretty much fucks her feelings away. Okay. I saw that shit coming. And, Alex and Derek, they have their little dinner, and Derek kind of forces Alex to open up about how she really felt after he notices the stolen necklace, and he opens up to how he, was scared that his whole life was going to be different while he was in the wheelchair, coming to find out that it's the same. So when he tells Alex to reciprocate, she fucks him. Because she ain't ready to tell her true feelings to him. I know that for a fact. And that's pretty much how the episode ended. That was Star Season 2, Episode 4. Y'all leave a comment down below and tell me how y'all feel. And I will catch you guys on the flip side. Bye.